Hey there YouTube, this is Sonic19 coming with you with another premium deck profile. Today we're doing OTT Battle Sisters. Now you guys have seen my standard standard before, but now V era Battle Sisters, but now this is the premium Battle Sisters. Now this deck is very strong in premium. Currently speaking, this deck is at least a high tier 2 to a mid tier 1 deck. I brought this to a tournament recently and I topped with no problem, hitting outrageous numbers, consistently getting my cards back and my value back. And here's the kicker: you're able to put your over trigger on top of your deck whenever you want, or search it out and put it on top of your deck whenever you want. And I'm going to show you how. But first, we need to go through the deck profile. So we play 3 copies of Battle Sister Fromage. So just like before, Fromage has a very beautiful skill. So on plates, first in constant skill, when she's on the Vanguard, all Battle Sisters, including herself, gain plus 5k. This is the starting block of making numbers. Her auto skill is Vanguard, Rearguard, 1 place, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, draw a card. And if your Vanguard is a Battle Sister, draw another card. So, as long as she's the Vanguard, you're going to be drawing 2 cards every time you place her. Not only that, she is a Protect unit, so you're actually drawing 3 cards, because this is a Protect 1 deck. Her second skill is Act. Once per turn, discard any cards from your hand. Look on the top of your deck look as many cards on top of your deck as the same number of Battle Sisters with different names. Keep that in mind, different names, and rearrange them in any order you see fit. This is number 1 way of top decking your over trigger and putting it on top of your deck. You get a sneak peek at your next 6 cards if you're able to get 6 different Battle Sisters on board, which is not a problem for this deck. Next, we play 4 copies of Battle Sister Carline. Now, wait, I know what you're thinking. This card is so bad, I know. But we play this card for 3 reasons. 1, it's stride fodder. 2, if we're able to get her on board, she's a 23k beat stick. With Fromage's skill, she becomes a 28k beat stick. Now, third reason why we play her is because we have a grade 1 in the deck. When we get to it, I'll show you the reason why we play it. Those are all of our grade 3s. We play 8 grade 3s in this deck. Now for our grade 2s. We play, as before, our best grade 2 ride target. We play 4 copies of Battle Sister Trifle, because you don't want to trifle with her. Skill, Vanguard, Rearguard, 1 place, Counter Blast 1. Look at 3 cards at the top of your deck. Call up to 1 card with Battle Sister and its card name from among them, and put the other 2 back on top of your deck in any order. This is another way for you to trigger off your over trigger if it's in that first top 3. Her second skill is when she attacks the Vanguard, you can, when you attack the Vanguard, if you looked at your deck during any point of your turn, she gets plus 5k. And then you can Soul Blast 1 grade 3, and your opponent cannot use Sentinels against her attack. So just imagine putting that over trigger or critical on top of her. Your opponent cannot sentinel her attack. This is one of the ways you finish your opponent. Next, we play our beat stick of the deck, of our grade 2s, which is Battle Sister Macaron. Macaron has a very simple skill. Once per turn, if you looked at your deck, she gains plus 10k. She becomes a 19k beater. Amazing for this deck. Especially this helps you build numbers. With Fromage, her base number goes to 14, then she becomes a 24k beater. Beautiful. Now, our last grade 2 that we play 4 copies of our grade 2 secondary ride target is Battle Sister Kokorat. Kokorat has a very simple skill on Vanguard or Rearguard, Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 from among them, and put that card on top of your deck. And then she gains plus 5k. The other 4 cards get shuffled and go back to the bottom of your deck. She's just another way to allow you to look for your grade 3s if you're having trouble getting them to your hand. And on top of that, she's a small beat stick. Those are all of the grade 2s that we play. So now we're gonna go into the grade 1s. So just like as before, this is why Bushiroad didn't give Premium a ride line mechanic, because you would literally go from here to Trifle to Fromage. So we play 4 copies of Battle Sister Trifle-Jess. Torjess. So her Vanguard Rearguard skills on place is that she gets to look at, so one place, reveal the top card of your deck. If that revealed top card is a Battle Sister unit, you get to add that card to your hand. If not, it goes back to the top of your deck. And then she has a hard name once per turn. When you looked at your deck, she gains plus 5k. So the only way to trigger, I'm sorry, that's in reverse. Her on play skill is a once per name, hard once per turn. Her other skill is just a simple plus 5 when you look at the top of your deck, so that way you can't abuse it and ramp her up really high. Sorry about that, a little confusion. But we play 4 copies of her. Now we play 3 copies of Battle Sister Pentantis. Panetto. I can't pronounce his name. Some Italian name. But can't pronounce the name, but she has an amazing skill. So she has Act, put her into the soul, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 card on top of your deck and the other one to the bottom of your deck. And then the next time you hit next time your dry check reveals a trigger, that trigger's power is increased increased plus 10k, which means that trigger is now a 20k trigger. And this is not a hard turn, so if you're able to get all 3 of these off, your trigger will be activating for plus 40k. So this is another way to get high numbers and another way for you to look for your over trigger or better triggers. So as you can see, this deck just looks for stuff. Next, we're playing our grade 1 beat stick or booster, which is Battle Sister Cassette. Cassette has the exact same skill as Makaran. When you reveal, similar skill to Makaran. Once per turn, when your draw check reveals a critical trigger, period, she gains plus 10k, which is not hard to do in this deck because you're constantly looking at the top card of your deck and rearranging them in any order that you like. So if you put her behind Makaran, her base number will be 17 plus the 5Ks from Fromage, making them 27, then 37, 47. So her plus Makaran is a 47 column. This deck hits for stupid numbers easily. Then the last grade one we play is a staple in any G-Era premium deck. We're playing 3 Battle Sister Stride Fodders. Now, if you don't know what a Stride Fodder is, this card simply states is when you're discarding this card for the cost of a stride, its grade goes up to 3. That is a stride effect. Now, her personal effect is that when she is placed on Rearguard Circle, you may reveal up to 1 Battle Sister Grade 3. And then search your deck for another Battle Sister Grade 3. And if you do add it, discard 1 card. Because of this card, you reveal her, search her, you got the best Grade 3 in your hand. And if you don't want to lose any cards, just throw this one away. Point blank, period. That's the reason why we run her. She is our Fromage searcher. Enough said about that. Those are all of our grade 1s that we play. Now we're going to go into our grade 0s. Now, for our starter, we are not playing a V-Era starter. We were playing a G-Era starter. We are playing Battle Sister Waffle. So Battle Sister Waffle has the skill Counterblast 1, Put this card into your soul. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Call up to 1 Battle Sister from among them, and put the other ones back on top of your deck. Sound familiar? This is a grade 0 version of our grade 2 unit Trifle. You wonder where they got the skill from. But the called unit that you get gets plus 2k. Remember that. So, as always, we're playing the 1 over trigger for Cater Sanctuary, which allows, when you trigger, to give 1 million power to any unit, and then allow all of your rear guards to perform dry checks when they attack. Because of this deck, this trigger is so stupid in this deck because you can literally get it. If you get it in your hand, it's not a problem. If you can't find it, you can search it and put it on top of your deck. This thing is crazy in this deck. So we're playing, besides that, we're playing 4 OG critical triggers in Battle Sister Muffin. So Muffin is the greatest trigger in this deck besides the old trigger. For the simple fact of the matter is that this trigger goes back to the deck. Her skill is at put this card on top of your deck, and if you have a Vanguard or Battle System's card name, choose one of your other units, and until the end of the turn, it gets plus 3k and the auto effect, Vanguard or Rearguard. Oracle. So for those who don't know, Oracle means you have to have no less than 5 cards in your hand for Oracle to trigger. Oracle is an old school keyword that belonged to OTT. When this unit attacks, counter charge 2. Shuffle your deck. This is a counter charge 2. And it freaking stacks. Counter charge 2, counter charge 4, counter charge 6, counter charge 8. Never say they're going to get that high, but my point being is this. You can stack these and send all of your triggers back to deck. Which means if you're ever playing any cards in OTT that, in the Battle Sister variant, that have battle phase counterblast, you can literally attack with them. Well, give this skill to that unit first. Attack, counterblast. Then, as you do their skill, do her skill. Refund that counterblast. You will never, in this deck, you're never losing resources. Ever. If you are, you're playing the deck wrong. Next, we play 4 Battle Sister old school heal triggers. So her skill says when you G-guard and you have a copy of her in your drop zone, you can bind both of these and either counter charge one or soul charge one. Another way to counter charge and another way to get soul. Next, we play 3 V-Era Battle Sister crits, only because they give plus 10k, they're critical, and they have the Battle Sister name. And then finally, for our perfect guard, we play 4 copies of Weather Forecaster Miss. Draw trigger, 10k trigger, and a perfect guard. What more can you ask? That is the main deck. Now we're going to be going into the G deck. We play 2 copies of Sterling Witch Momo. Momo has a very beautiful skill. She is your first turn stride. And sometimes your only stride. Because after this one, if they live after this one, they deserve to live after this one. So, her skill says, once per turn, when this unit attacks, counterblast 1, turn a card face up in your G zone. Discard up to 3 cards from your hand. And for each card discarded, 3 of your front row units, including herself, gain plus 10k until the end of the turn. Which means if you discard 3 cards, your front row is getting pumped up by 30. On top of their already pumped up power. Then, if you discarded 3 cards, at the end of the battle that this unit battled, stand this unit, drive minus 2. So not only you're getting 4 dry checks out of this card, your front row is getting pumped up plus 30. This is disgusting. In a good way. And you can do it twice because she doesn't demand you flip a copy of herself. God, they live after this, they deserved it. So we're gonna go into cards that if they live after Momo, we're gonna see what we can go into. So currently, I only have the one, but I would recommend you bumping this up to 2. This is Excite Battle Sister Stolen. So Stolen has a very useful skill. Counterblast 1, choose a card with the same card name as is in your G zone and turn it face up. You may soul charge 1. Then look at the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the same number of rear guards with Battle Sister in their card name, and put them on top of your deck in any order. Sound familiar? Stolen is the G era for Maj is the V era version of Stolen. So you think you're going to be losing out on the benefits of Fromage, but if you go into Stolen, you're getting the same benefits, just not the power push around. Unless you're in GB3. All of your units with Battle Sister in the card name gain plus 3k. So you're not pushing around 5, but you are pushing around 3k, which can come in, can help you with certain numbers and can give you certain magic numbers. But it's literally the same skill. Literally the same skill. Then we have one of our kill buttons. Other than Momo, here's your other kill button. This is Stillwater Festival DD Ikashikima. So let's read through her skill. Act. Once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Choose a face down card from your G zone with the same card name as this unit in your G zone and turn it face up. That's 1. Act. Once per turn, Generation Break 3, Oracle. Remember that Oracle, you have to have 5, no minimum of 5 cards in your hand. Oracle. Choose a face down card in your G zone and turn it face up. So not only that she is GB1 with her, she turns up a card making GB2, then turns up a third card making GB3. Or sorry, GB4, because you have to already be in GB3 to do that. She literally just keeps flipping cards over in your G zone. But her skill is for GB3 is that you turn a card face up your G zone during your turn. Your opponent cannot call G Guardians or Grade Zeros from their hand or G zone. She literally tells your opponent no Grade Zeros, which is your best defense, and then your second best defense in a premium deck is your G Guardians. She says no to that, which means your opponent is left with nothing but 5k to 10k guards in their hand. And their perfect guards, if they have any. This card is nasty, in a very bad, good way. Now, here is the final kicker of this deck. We play 4 copies of Lord of Guidance Wakahime. Now, for Wakahime, I have to bring him back, because this is Wakahime's skill. Auto, Generation Break 2. So you can do this after Momo if this is in your hand or any trigger is in your hand. Oracle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Turn a unit face down in your G zone with the same card name as Wakahime face up in your G zone. Choose any Draw one card, and then choose any trigger unit from your hand and put it on top of your deck. That is it. If you have this in your hand and you think this is it, you're never gonna get your over trigger back, go into her. She puts it back. She immediately puts this on top of your deck. So you know, no matter what you do, you're going to hit your over trigger. Disgusting. In the best way. Those are all of the G units that you play offensively. Defensively, you only need 4. You play 2 copies of Excite Battle Sister Brave Rois. Baver Oris. Baver Oris. Sorry. Weird name. Skill, auto, counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw 1 card. 2 pluses you 1. Then reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is grade 1 or greater, 5k to the shield. Choose a 20k shield by revealing the top card of your deck. Then we play the other one. Son of Eternity Amaterasu. Amaterasu skill. Auto. 1 place on Guardian Circle. If the number of cards in your hand is 4 or more, this unit gets plus 10k shield. So just having 4 cards in your hand, which the deck naturally is going to have cards in its hand, you get a plus 10k shield. Then, auto. When placed on Guardian Circle, Soul Charge 1. Then look at the top card of your deck, decide if that card can go on top or bottom of your deck. So, 1 card pluses you for a counter blast, the other one pluses you for a Soul Charge, and also both cards allow you to take a top peek at what's on top of your deck. And then this one allows you to decide whether it goes on top. So if it's a trigger unit, it goes on top. If it's not, it goes to the bottom. At least this way you have as much information on what's top of your deck as possible. And you know in the game of Vanguard, as much information is key to winning. If you can get as much information about you or your opponent, you are ahead of the game. That is Battle Sisters Premium in a nutshell. This deck is so outrageously disgusting that when I went to locals with this deck, I made someone rage quit. To the point where this is one of my don't bring to locals unless I want to be a jerk top 3 decks. If you don't know, my top 3 decks is the Fenrir Loop, my Dark Irregular build, and this. If you want to make your opponent rage quit and feel as though they have no chance of winning, play this deck. My God, it is a good and bad time for all. But as always, thanks for sitting here and watching the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, put a thumbs up, leave a description down in the chat. If you put a F in the chat. Put a R in the chat. If you play this deck and you made your friends rage quit, put a R down in the chat. Flood the chat with R's if you made your opponent rage quit. I would love to see it. But as always, that's my time. I have been Sonic19, and as always, see you later.